Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to I guess we're going into round 6 already of RM Fantasy MXperts. Chuck, what happened to your nose? I'm just noticing this.
Oh, man, come on.
I
found the bottom of a swimming pool.
Are you serious? So Charles
you
just
had to wait.
Zero regard for the signs that say no diving.
Anyway.
Oh, okay, rough start. Well, hey, welcome. Yeah, this is round 6 headed into Southwick. Sandy Southwick this year. I like it. Round 6.
Round 6.
Charles, how'd you do this weekend? Double points.
I did pretty okay if it was regular points, but yeah,
well,
120 points.
Oh my gosh.
That's how much I got.
I am ashamed of myself. Double points round. I got 60 points. That is deserved.
Man.
I got
What happened?
Dude, I took a chance on Sexton. I was like, hey, I knew I had to make up some points.
Yeah.
And so I was like, look, Jett's 2 seconds faster in qualifying, but I got to do something different. And I was like, all right, I'm going to put Sexton to win, just going out on a limb. So I got 3 riders in the top 5 correct, just not in the right spot. And then Master Pool had his bike DNF. Second moto, I was like, well, there goes my wild card. So I was just like, cool. Just obliterated my entire weekend.
Sometimes you got to gamble to win.
Jeez. We did have 5 perfect scores. How many points did you get for 260 for a perfect score?
Yeah, 266.
266. That'll move you up in the rankings.
It's a lot.
Oh, my gosh. But we got a lot to talk about here. We have a rookie who is 10-0. Blowing minds here. But, hey, remember, link to the Discord of the show. That is down in the description. That's where we have all the memes that are being uploaded. Shout out to everyone who's doing the memes. We have the chat in there, all the good stuff. So make sure to go there. Also, breaking news. We got Christian Craig, who's going to be calling in here in just a few minutes. Chuck, Cooper WEBB.
Parting ways
with KTM.
Yep.
Early.
Yep.
I feel like we just saw this happen with another rider not too long ago, where it was just like this abrupt end to their contract. But I'm trying to remember. If anybody remembers, put that in the chat. But I swear there was another high-profile rider not too long ago who just abruptly ended their contract and moved on to a different team, like in the middle of the year. But I'm trying to remember who it was. Maybe it was Jason Anderson when he was on Husqvarna and went to No, wasn't that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But anyway, hey, let's get a little recap up there. Sid, can we get weekly prizes of what's up for grabs right now this week? Please. Hey, there they are. Chuck, read them off for me. I'm researching something real quick.
We've got the FXR gear set. We also have a Fox spending spree, the ASV levers. Those are always good. 7 gear, the spending spree. You've got the Rhino Power products, Cherubies, Matrix Concepts lift stand, LS2 helmet, and also some MSR casual spending spree.
Nice.
So, good stuff. And then, got some stuff from Works Connection.
Hey, I want to bring it up, too. So last week, RedBud was FMF's big round, right? The one that they rock and roll with all the America stuff. So they had a full exhaust system, and that went to Blitz 147, who got a perfect score.
Congrats.
Pretty impressive.
That
So
is
Blitz
awesome.
147. What's crazy is the 5 people that had perfect scores obviously won a weekly prize. So the 2X won that MSR gear set. Danger Man 60 took home the ASV C6 levers. Deb got the Fox gear set. And then M. Wilcox 349 got the Fastway Air EXT peg. So congrats to those people. You can see it up there. There's the overall leaderboard. M. Wilcox, perfect score and jumped to the top.
It's amazing.
That's embarrassing. I don't even have 300 points.
So, yeah, he jumped from
I
three,
do.
what, three?
Yeah.
Two something, 290 something.
Oh, my gosh.
That's insane.
It's embarrassing. 320 points is what my total is right now. And then our MXperts group got lucky, is still leading the way right there. Matt Hamber jumped up. He was, crushing. So, yeah, congratulations to everybody who got a really good score this weekend. Good for you. I like that. All right, grand prizes. What are they up for grabs, Sid? Put those up there, please. Oh, by the way, we got Sid and Nick here behind the camera, rocking and rolling.
Yo.
What do we got here, Charles? We got, look, first place, you guys know, we're giving away a Gas EX300, fully decked out. There is FMF on there as well. And I want to give a thank you to all the sponsors that sponsor Fantasy, both for Supercross and Motocross. Couldn't do it without them. So please, if you go to the RM Fantasy MX website, look at the brands that are, donating all these amazing prizes and support them. It's going to help them out. But you got the Gas. Second place, you get a Fantic Carbon 1.5 e-bike. Third place, it's a ticket to ride. We're going to bring you out here to Utah to go down to Whitewash. Fourth place, you get a $2,000 MSR spending spree. Fifth is Tusk Tire and Wheel package hookup. Sixth place is a Rocky Mountain spending spree, $1,500. Seventh place, Recluse is going to let you pick a clutch, whichever one you want. Eighth, A-Stars, $1,000. Ninth place, Attack Graphics package. And then 10th, you got Tusk Tool spending spree. All the goodies.
All the goodies.
Have you ever won you work at Rocky Mountain, so we're ineligible. But would you have won a weekly prize if you didn't work here? Have you ever done that?
Mm-hmm. I haven't even paid attention.
Never paid attention to that?
I just knew I couldn't. So
okay.
The week before I started, I actually won.
You did?
I won
Nice.
$10.
$10.
Yes.
Oh, so you got one of the 90 Rocky Mountain gift cards.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot too. Yeah, we do 90 Rocky Mountain ATMC gift cards too.
Yeah.
Oops. So 100 weekly prizes.
Yeah, 100.
And two, tell your friends and family, whoever, even if they haven't signed up yet, the weekly prizes, you can always win those. It doesn't matter what round you sign up for, you can win a weekly prize. And then the grand prizes, don't forget, we do drop your lowest score at the end of the year. All right.
So last week for you, never mind.
What?
Last week for you.
It's hopeless, dude. It's 60. Yeah, my lowest score of the year is going to be the double points round. That's fantastic. That makes me feel good about myself. All right, you do need that gas tornado. All right, well, look, let's get to our weekly results here from last week at RedBud. Surprise, freaking surprise. Jett Lawrence, 10-0. Dylan Ferrandis, second place. Dylan was catching him a little bit in that second moto, but then Jett does what Jett does. Just oh, really? You're just going to, catch me a little bit? Okay, I'll just lay down a couple heaters.
See you later.
Builds the gap up a few more seconds and then just maintains it.
Yep.
Chase Sexton let me down. Got third. I know he's not happy with it, but third overall. He hasn't raced in a month. He got to come a little slack. Plessinger fourth, which, come to find out, he didn't divulge this in his interview with us, but he was pretty banged up, I guess. Had a really bad practice crash the week before, and then said in an interview he was 75%. Or
Not
something
bad
like
for
that.
75%.
Not bad. And then Anderson, we'll talk about his lap times here in a little bit, but first moto, didn't get a good start, but his pace was good, and he really didn't fade that much, but second moto, completely different story. You can tell about halfway he hit the wall.
Yep.
And then Freddie Norn, shout out.
Yeah.
Wildcard, seventh place.
Nice work.
So good ride for him. All righty then. Okay, so Charles, is there anything, let's get to a few highlights here. Okay. How about this in the 250 class?
Ryder D and
Who do you blame? Who do you put fault on right here? We're going to show this replay.
Don't put that on me.
I will say that no riders were going from where Rider D was at in that first corner. He was on the inside. Then he tried to go back inside. No other riders. What do you need, Sid? Move, your cord's hanging over your mic, Charles.
Oh, no wonder.
He still didn't fix it. Anyway, right here, Rider D.
I blame Rider D.
He goes from the inside, tries to go back to the inside, obviously to block the line, but runs into Tom Vial, makes him crash. So, yeah, I'd say Rider D trying to close the line, racing incident, but maybe not the best judgment there.
Yeah,
lesson learned. Young rider.
not intentional.
He'll get into it. Okay. Yep. How about James Stewart getting deducted? Like, he was already announced, but there he is getting his prize.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Legend.
You know what? We need James Stewart to when's he going to come out of retirement just to, like, ride a little bit?
That would be really cool.
I think, like, because they do the parade lap at RedBud where they take all these Hall of Famers and they all go do a lap. Yep. So Dunge was out there and some other big-time dudes. James couldn't because he was announcing, but the day that James says he's going to line up and do a lap or two, like, you should probably be there.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty epic.
We need that at Washougal, so he's on a 2-stroke.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Speaking of Washougal, it's been pretty good.
Yeah, 7 on a 2-stroke.
All right. What else? Lappers throw. Oh, I thought this was funny. So in this clip right here, and I don't know who the rider is, but shout out if you know the person. So this is at the very end of the moto. Jett Lawrence is leading. He's cruising. And the lap rider decides to throw a whip right behind him.
Look what I can do.
Probably because, hey, situational awareness. The lap rider probably knew the camera's on Jett right now.
Oh, yeah.
So you know what? I'm going to throw a whip right behind Jett. Because the cameras are on them. They're on me. This is my moment, he says.
Got to jump on those opportunities.
I
mean, we're watching him now because of right?
Yeah, I just think it's funny. He absolutely knew that Jett probably had the cameras on him. It was like, cool, I'm going to throw a whip right behind Jett as he's going to a victory. As he's lapping me probably for the second time.
He's probably showing this replay to his girlfriend.
Guaranteed that rider was getting lapped for the second time. Which, there's some controversy. We're going to ask Christian Craig about this. That Jett brought up a few remarks in the post-race conference about lappers. Talking about black flagging.
Yeah.
Kind of curious. I'm kind of curious to see what he says.
Well, I have some thoughts, but
what?
We'll talk about it later, I guess.
Okay. And then, unfortunately, Hunter Lawrence goes down in the start. I mean, fortunately, he had a big enough lead that he, even missing that entire second moto, he still has about an 11 or 12-point lead. But the big storyline now is that Hayden Deegan is not your championship leader, but he now has a legitimate shot at winning this title.
Yeah.
I mean, if Hunter's really banged up and Hayden can come out and put more points on Hunter, I mean, Hunter's clearly the best guy. No one's going to argue that.
Right.
But Hayden Deegan now, I mean, talk about the one rider in the 250 class that you probably don't want to stoke the fire is Hayden Deegan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's going to be more fired up.
Even more fired up. Oh, yeah. And I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. So
yeah, it'll be
I think it's pretty cool. What do you guys think? Ooh, we already got a poll going up. The breaking news. 80% say he's going to Yamaha. Danger Boy. But what are the, okay. If Danger was already riding the way he was, remember at Lakewood when he was blocking Hunter and doing all that, and then Hunter finally had to ram it in? Yeah. Imagine how he's going to race now, knowing that he's like in this title fight. Could be pretty wild. I'm excited for it. But what are the odds? We'll ask Christian, because Christian just had him on his podcast, which we're going to talk about too. Yeah. So we'll see what his thoughts are on Danger Boy Deegan now being in that title hunt. Okay.
That'll be good.
All right. With that being said, what do we got here? We have a clip that says 2 riders going down, but I'm an idiot. Oh, yeah. This was in the highlight. Ooh. That was pretty brutal. I don't know who that rider is. I couldn't catch his last name, but that was a nasty one. Glad to see he got right back up. Oh, that was Cooper. A little freestyle action there.
Yep.
Okay. Well, what?
What about AC and Masterpool?
Oh, we'll get there when we talk about it. When we talk about those guys, we'll get to their clips. Let's do player stats real quick. We're gonna have Craig calling in here in just a couple of minutes. It's just more bad news. The average score is 107. I was half the average score.
Dang.
That's so bad.
I'm right in there.
So bad. I'm an MXpert, and I suck right now.
Hey, you're taking gambles. You're trying to catch up. You
I
gotta do what you gotta do.
At least I took the risk, right?
Yeah.
I went out of my comfort zone, and it did not pay off.
Yeah.
It's like I went all in, and they called my bluff.
Yep.
My Vegas odds sucked.
Yep.
But anyway, we
House
have
always wins.
5 perfect scores, which we already talked about, which is awesome. We've only had 16 perfect scores in the last 3 rounds. How many we have in round 1?
It was crazy.
It was like over 100 or something crazy.
I can't remember. But
Anyway, it just shows like it's kind of predictable, but it's not because we're seeing a lot of mix-up in the top 5. It's been tough. Less than 2% got 4 picks correct. Almost 10% got 3 picks correct. 13 or 12.8% of players had all 5 correct, just not in the correct top 5. Man, only 6.5% had Sexton in third. 72% got burned who had him in second.
Yeah.
What was the percentage for him in first place? Do we have that pie chart? Master pool, let's see here. Sexton was 7%. Lucky number 7, I guess. See,
Yeah.
I was in that 7% pool.
Well, I was
So
in
I feel it.
Yeah, I was in the 70 that got burned.
Oh, geez.
71, whatever it was.
Did you pick Jett to win?
Yeah, Jett, Sexton, then yeah.
Okay. Well, look at that. I mean, who was your Sexton? 73%. Third place is kind of a toss-up right now between AC, Ferrandis, Plessinger, and Anderson. I'm surprised that many people put Anderson to get third place overall, to be honest with you. Like, you know that guy's coming off, hasn't ridden a lot. Surprising that many people would do that, but
Yeah.
okay, let's see. Master Pool's gaining steam. Let's see. 19% almost had him somewhere in their top 5. 57% of players put Anderson in their top 5, which, hey, that paid off for a lot of people if you had him in 5th, which is where 16%, that's a lot. 16% had him in 5th place. And then what was the wild card stat here? Noren.
4.3%.
Yeah. I mean, he was one of our top picks, though.
Yeah.
For the wild card. I picked Master Pool and he burned me. AC. Well, AC,
I bet on AC.
ruined it for me in the first
Yeah.
mode. I was like, oh my gosh, there goes my wild card. If I had a shot at all, it's over now. And they DNF'd the second moto, so it only got worse. Did you have Master Pool? Who'd you have?
I had AC in my top 5.
Well, no. Where'd you have for your wild card?
Oh, for my wild card, I actually had Master Pool.
We got burned, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Wild cards have been tough, though. We're at 7.5% correct each round so far. It's not that high.
nope.
It's okay. But when you're inside the top 10, like 7th place, you feel like your odds should be pretty good, and then you get burned. It's all right. It's okay. All right, with that being said, let's get into it. Top contenders. First rider we're going to talk about here. Look, I guess you have to pick Jett to win. I mean, he hasn't raced Southwick on a 450, but I don't think it matters what track conditions are like or what the track's going to be.
He's getting more
10-0.
confidence every single time.
And he makes it look easy. It was interesting. He said in the press conference, he talked about how he said he has to learn to double the bumps and just ride the 450 differently than some of these guys that are physically just a little bit bigger than him. So it's kind of interesting. But we'll talk about it. But that being said, are we ready? Oh, I got the finger. 1 second. We're almost ready. Not that finger. Sid wouldn't do that. But
Well, it's so crazy. I mean, Chase is going fast, but
you know, Chase riding hard as he could, but he didn't get the starts. And we'll talk about lap times here in just a little bit. But I mean, gosh, he makes it look easy. It's it's good to watch and it's frustrating all at the same time. Because when I watch Jett ride, I'm like, I look like I go that fast.
you
It's
just don't
embarrassing.
realize how fast he's really
No,
going.
you don't. And
Just so
that's the
smooth.
worst part about it. All right, well, that being said, well, there he is right there, Mr. Christian Craig. You're in Alden shop right now? In the gym?
I am. I had to come to the gym.
No days off.
Yeah. No, I mean, I can only do so much. I got a cast on right now, so
well,
it's all lower body stuff. But we're
okay.
still making it work.
How's obviously the elbow's still banged up, so give us the prognosis right now. Obviously the elbow is still in that cast. Hip though's doing pretty good. Was that the lesser of the 2 injuries?
Yeah, I mean, it was the most painful one, but once they put it back in place, man, I walked out of that hospital, which I got super lucky because my old teammate Nate Thrasher, when he crashed and dislocated his hip, it broke some stuff, and he said that was the worst pain of his life. So I got lucky with that part, but on the other side of it, my elbow is obviously, I'm 2 surgeries in now and more frustrated than ever. So we're trying to make, sorry, go ahead.
I know you're good.
That sounds like bad news then. So we heard you went to see your surgeon recently. Said something about that on your podcast. What did he say? What's your timeline?
Yeah. the elbow is showing a little bit of healing, but obviously I'm still in this cast and not able to move it. So, I mean, it's a long shot to make these outdoors in the playoffs, but I think I need to have that goal in my sight just to keep me like fired up, So I'm not ruling it out, but right now it's tough to stay positive and be, looking at those last 3 playoffs like there's a chance, but man, I just want to be healthy. This thing has been so frustrating. It's taking forever to heal. It's very finicky. I guess it doesn't want to heal, and I'm not very good with patience, so I'm trying my best.
Well, so you dislocated your elbow, correct?
Dislocated and shattered like the end of the elbow right by the humerus.
Oh, the shatter part.
It wasn't as bad as like a Roxon's, obviously. Like Roxon I think almost lost his arm. So I got lucky with, obviously, I didn't have that kind of problem, but it was enough to where it doesn't get a lot of blood flow there. So I got to be really patient with it. And I know in a month or 2 or less, this will all be in the rear view.
It's beautiful. So that makes me wonder, like, when you have an injury like this and you come back, you're lined up on the gate, how do you keep the thought of being injured out of your head? Like,
man, right now it's like that's the last thing on my mind. Right now I just want to ride. Like, I'm not thinking about the crashing or the injury part. I'm thinking about just that feeling of riding a dirt bike. Each weekend that goes by, like I went to RedBud, and as much as I wanted to be there for my team and stuff, I hated it. I hated every minute of it. Like, because I'm on that racer's mentality. I love the sport. I love everything about it. But I'm there to go be on the gate. And when I can't be there on the gate, it just fires me up. So last thing I think about right now is injury. And I just want to ride, man. I'm more frustrated than anything right now. I come to the track here during the week and watch the boys ride, and man, it looks so fun. I love riding, and I miss it for sure.
That's torture.
Do you ever being like, I mean, in general, like say at Alden's, when you're just grinding out these motos, do you ever, like while you're riding, do you ever think like, this is fun? Or is it like you're suffering through it? And then you get done, you're like, you know what? That was actually pretty fun. Like I get to ride a dirt bike for a living, and it kind of changes your perspective when you're just having those long grinding motos.
Yeah, of course there's days that are hot. Like right now it's miserable here, the weather. 30-minute moto in this weather is not going to be that fun. No matter how fast you're going or how good you're riding, you're going to suffer. So I think it's more mentality. Like during Supercross, when you have that flow and things are clicking, man, it's all you're thinking about is how much fun you're having. But there are other sides of it too, where you're fighting the bike or you're fighting yourself. So stuff's just not clicking, and you got to expect those days, like you got to expect the days. Some days are going to be tougher than others. So right now I'm thinking about those good days and all those fun times. So I'm just looking forward to get back on a bike.
Well, hey, I mean, the good news is, hey, don't lie now. We know Taylor Swift, you said you're not going, but deep down inside, you probably wish you were there, huh?
Well, I mean, I know every song because my daughter, so I could probably be there and sing every song. But,
dude, those are... Go ahead. No, you're good. Go ahead.
I dropped my family off this morning. Well, my daughter and my wife, so they get to enjoy that tomorrow night. I got the 2 boys. But yeah, that's a good little birthday present for her.
What's your favorite T Swift song? Don't lie.
I've been asked about this a couple times. I don't have a favorite. I just
okay, you passed. You're good.
There's too many that are like you can just sing along with though. It's not okay for us guys.
Well, I heard T Swift tickets aren't cheap too. Like that's an expensive birthday present.
Oh, it's unreal. And my wife just bought the tickets yesterday. She was hoping they would go down. So
what are they like? Well, they only go up a couple days before. What are they like $1,000, $1,200 a pop or something crazy?
Oh, it's way more than that. That one hurt the bank.
Yeah, you felt that one. Hey, I was gonna say you're doing this podcast now, which we've listened to, which I think is awesome. I think you, AC, he started one. I think it's just so cool to get a cool perspective because you guys are just giving a lot of information that we don't get to hear on the podium, and you guys just don't have time to talk about this stuff at the races. So it's really cool to see. But I also think, and you also have your YouTube channel. I don't think people have enough appreciation for how much time it takes to have like a good YouTube channel where you're always producing content. And now you've started this podcast. So props to you, man. I know you've got downtime, but it's probably hard to juggle all that. I mean, with your YouTube channel, do you have a full-time editor that just follows you year round, or do you have to try and find somebody for each video that's available to do it for you?
No, with the YouTube, my wife used to do it the past 10 years or so, but last year we got someone to help us. And so I figured with my wife taking care of 3 kids on race day and holding a camera, it's just not going to work anymore. So we hired someone for that. And luckily, obviously, it's not cheap to hire someone. And props to you guys for doing this every week. It's a lot of work. Podcast, I thought it was like plug and play. You kind of you get the equipment. Obviously, you pay for it. It's a lot of money, the equipment.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, just pay that up front and then just have fun with it. But it's behind the scenes and coming up with topics, questions for guests. It's harder than it seems. So props to you guys to do this every week. And on the podcast things, like I've wanted to do this for a long time, and whether I was hurt or not, I knew I wanted to at least try it.
Mm-hmm.
So this was obviously the perfect time for that. And so got some stuff to work on. I know my speaking's not the best, but I got some guests lined up for next week, which I'm just trying to just fill that up and get more comfortable with it each time. I know more reps, the better I'm going to get. So we'll see how it goes. It could go one or the other. And, you know, I'll be glad, that I tried, you know, and if it grows, great. If not, so what, you know?
Yeah. No, I think you're right. Cause like, I knew you were coming on the show and Charles knew, and we're just like, all right, we got to come up with some good, questions for Christian. You're just like, what are we going to ask him? And you'll sit there and you should be like, I should just have like a million questions ready to go in my brain. But then you're like, oh no, he won't want to talk about that. Or that's a stupid question. Like, no. But then you're just like, dude, what, like, hopefully we have 15, 20 minutes of like questions to ask. But once you get the conversation going though, once you get good at it, you just let it naturally evolve into just a good conversation is really what you have to be. You have questions prepared, but you got to just let it naturally evolve, right?
Well, yeah. Speaking of questions though,
hit him with the hard one.
I'm bringing it back to racing.
Okay.
So I was watching the press conference. They were talking about superstition, pre-race rituals, that kind of thing. I'm curious, when you come back to racing, do you have any pre-race rituals? Chase mentioned the red gloves.
Yeah, who did it first? You or Wilson? Who stole the thunder?
I think Dino did it first, but 2021, I wasn't even like planning to do the red gloves, but I won the first round in it, and I'm like, automatically your brain's like, well, I'm wearing those same gloves next weekend, you know? So
did you wash in between?
Oh yeah, we washed. Yeah. So that whole year was red gloves, and then I got hurt, and then it went away. So my championship year, man, oh, you don't want to know the stuff that I came up with in my head. It was it's pretty crazy how much a rider can almost like lose his mind, but it controls me and makes me like stay focused. And obviously you do those little things and it puts you into that fight mode almost, you know. It's like, all right, it shifts your focus. Like the little things I'll do on the gate, if I click those off, your mind automatically knows to, all right, let's go, like ready to drop this gate. But man, it built up for a while there. I think those are all out the window when I was laying on the ground in Glendale with my broken elbow. I'm like, well, those superstitions are out the window.
Yeah, it's a reset.
It is complete reset.
What's the weirdest thing you've seen a rider do on the line, like before a race? Like Sexton does like this, and I always wonder like what he's screaming or what he's saying under his helmet. J Mart licks his gloves. And I'm just like, I don't know. Like, you definitely see some weird, like, dudes are punching the air. What's one of the weirdest things you've seen where you're like, you're trying not to look, but it's distracting?
Oh, worst one is Vince Freese, because he actually has OCD. Like, I think I'm pretty sure he's like been whatever from the doctor. He's got it. And if you watch any of his stuff, he turns his front wheel so many times, it's almost in your gate. Before, like, while the 30-second board goes up. I don't know if he does it now or still, but I would always be like, if I'd qualify or before the main and I was ahead of him, I would pick my gate and I'm just like, please, Vince, please no, like, don't come over here. Because if he starts next to you, it's not that he's a good starter. Obviously, he's a good starter. It's his front wheel coming into your side, or him touching his grip like 20 times, or he'll put his goggles on, pull them off, put his goggles on, pull them off, and I'm just like, I'll just sit there and be like, all right, my stuff is not that bad, but
Hey,
it works for him and it gets him a start, you know?
Maybe he's trying to get in your head. Maybe it's all fake. He says he's got this deal and he's just doing it to distract you.
I don't know what it is, but it's every race. If you look back on Vince, it's and I think every rider that has raced him will tell you that. It's like, oh boy, if he's lined up next to you, you got to be prepared for him turning his front wheel into you or touching something weird.
That's funny.
That is.
It's pretty crazy, yeah.
All right. Hey, big news. Cooper Webb immediately parts ways with RedBud KTM. This is perfect timing, Christian. And he's literally found this out 30 minutes before we're like, well, hey, we know somebody who knows somebody.
Yep.
Like, you probably can't speak a lot on this, but it's not normal for a rider to part ways in the middle of not in the middle of a contract, but I don't think anybody expected just an abrupt end to it, because now Super Motocross, I guess can Webb even race on a different bike in Super Motocross? Do you have to be on the same team that you qualified on? I don't even know how this works, but what was kind of your reaction when you saw that? Because was this breaking news to you as well, or do you kind of see the writing on the wall?
No, I mean, I think everyone saw the writing on the wall. He had the chance to fight for a title in Supercross, and then that ended in Nashville. And then you kind of seen it back and forth with the team. Obviously, he's not happy with the bike. He's been fighting that for a couple of years, but man, I heard some rumblings, but I kind of stay out of that. Like, I do my business. I come here to do the gym, or I come here and do my motos and leave. But heard some stuff, and then before I hopped on this call, I saw that on social media too, and it's pretty crazy. He's been nothing but nice to me for this half a year that I've trained with him.
Mm-hmm.
Done a lot of bike rides with him, a lot of gym, a lot of motos with him, and he's actually been helpful. He's helped me kind of guide with this, me on a Husky now, and learning that. He's helped me try some new parts and stuff like that. So nothing but good luck to him, and obviously I'll be racing him next year, but I think we all kind of know where he was going or was trying to go. But yeah, I mean, other than that, you guys know about the same as me.
Are you happy looking back at it now in hindsight? Are you actually kind of happy you never even rode or raced the old chassis, so you don't even understand what the struggle is that he had going from that old bike to this new one?
Yeah, but I mean, then I looked at Malcolm when he signed on the team and how good of a year he had.
Yeah.
Or RJ. You know, I mean, AP is starting to progress. And so, but my main thing is when I signed with this team, I'm like, Malcolm just come off his best year. Like, that bike obviously got potential, and he almost, he got multiple podiums last year. So I don't look at it in the negative. I looked at it as positive, and I had some struggles, but it was me just figuring it out and learning the bike and learning the class. And I felt like I was on the upward trend of starting to improve and getting better results and learning the bike. And then obviously the crash. So frustrating, but the bike is obviously not the issue. I think that has more than enough potential to win races and championships.
Yeah. And is it to a point, at riders at your elite level, does it really come down to sometimes just some riders just don't gel well with certain bikes and certain chassis? Because I hear about like Andrew Short and Davey Millsaps when they were on, I think, like the 2011 or 12 Honda chassis. One guy loved it and the other guy absolutely hated it. And is that just maybe the case we see with Webb, whereas like he personally just didn't like that bike, but maybe AP loves it or you like it?
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of it's mental too. I mean, if you hop on that bike and you want to be there and you believe in what you're riding, you're going to love it. And I think it goes opposite too. If you are negative about it or don't trust it or don't trust what's happening to it or what it does, you're going to be negative about it. So I think a lot of it is mental, but yeah, it is. I mean, we are at a top level and we're all fighting for that, to get to that next level. And and we're all finicky. We're all picky. We all want the best parts and want it to be perfect. But at the end of the day, it's a dirt bike.
Yeah.
And you just got to kind of almost shut off your brain. You almost got to shut off your brain and just trust it. Trust your, everything you do, all the work you do, and let it all just play out in the race.
I gotta ask this question too, because you've been in this situation. In our sport, it's kind of strange when riders already know, like Chase Sexton, like he hasn't confirmed it, but everyone knows or thinks he's going to RedBud KTM. Is it ever weird or make it difficult when you and your team know, like you've already, you almost feel like you're cheating on your team? Or that's how I look at it from the outside. It's like, man, like HRC Honda's got to feel like Sexton's cheating on him, because behind the gate, he already knows like what's going to happen while they're still trying to win this championship. Have you been in that situation where it's kind of, does it ever get awkward?
Well, for me, I kind of got lucky twice so far. So with Geico, they were closing doors when I was moving to Star. So they pretty much told me like, hey, I got to find a ride. So that wasn't awkward at all. I signed with Star during Supercross season 2020. So the Geico knew about it all along, and obviously they were fine with it because they were done. And then last year or 2 years ago, so I was with Star for 2 years, and then there was no 450 spot open at Star. They offered me a 250 deal, and I told them I appreciate it, but I'm too old for this class, and I got to move on. I need a 450 career before I'm too old. So they understood that, and they knew early on in the year, and I was very fortunate that they treated me the same all year and stuck behind me. I put in some good results for the team. Obviously, I won the championship, and then I did good on 450 outdoors. So I got lucky both times that I had, supportive teams behind me, but I could see how it gets a little awkward. But I do think, obviously, Chase just won that Supercross title, and you're not going to see the team just kind of give up on him. They're going to honor their word. He's part of their team and under contract. And even if he is leaving next year, he's still on a Honda right now. And if he's winning, it's going to help them,
I feel like as long as, if you're leaving a team, if you're Chase Sexton, as long as you're winning, it's probably good. But I'm sure, like, if you're having, like, say, if Sexton was having a really poor outdoor season, it probably makes it mentally hard to stay in it when like, this is my last year on this bike, I'm moving on. It seems like mentally it'd be hard to not just check out already knowing, like, the writing's on the wall.
Yeah, but I also think Chase is not that guy. I think he's going to honor his contract, and he's going to put his best foot forward. He's not going to show up and not put his best result in. So
sure.
That's Chase, and that's how he's always been. And so he's going to put in his best result, try to win as much as he can, try to beat Jett, and then go from there. So
speaking of, you just mentioned the word Jett. So yeah, I feel like Chase right now, I feel like he's very motivated because he knows going into 2025 Supercross, or 24, excuse me, that Jett's going to be there, right? And everybody knows, just based off of what we've already seen, he's going to be good in Supercross. So Chase is probably thinking, I've got to slow this momentum down. But watching Jett, I'd love to hear your thoughts. From a guy who is out there racing, you're watching these on TV, when you watch Jett ride and you see him go 2 seconds a lap faster than everyone else in qualifying, and then his race strategy is phenomenal. He gets that gap, he can maintain it, and if somebody closes up, he's like, you know what, that's fine. I'll just I'll just add a couple more seconds to my lead. What is he doing different that Ferrandis and these guys aren't doing that's allowing him to ride the bike so good right now?
I think when you don't have pressure on you or you're not being challenged, the bike looks so easy and everything comes at you very easy. Like I had some Supercrosses last year where I broke that gap and it was just, you click off the laps and it was so easy. So he's obviously mentally, he believes he's the best. He's coming off of however many titles, So
yeah.
His mentality is so high, and like his confidence. I mean, his confidence is so high. He's comfortable on the bike, and he rides it the right way. You got nothing negative to say about his style, his posture, the way he shifts the bike, the gear he's in, like the gears, the way he shifts it out of corners, not too aggressive, doesn't make anything crazy. I think you've seen him get challenged by Roxon a little bit, and you saw some cracks there at High Point with his crashes. I think that was his biggest challenge yet, and I do think that's not going to be the only one. I think Chase is going to get better each weekend. Dylan is obviously improving now, so those two I think are going to push him into a new level that will either make him better or it could crack him. So I think we're all fans of Jett, but we also want to see a good race, and we're all kind of getting bored of this a little bit with his hole shots and his gap.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Even the biggest Jett fan, you're wanting to see a little challenge out of it. You know, you want to see someone challenge him.
Who do you think's the first one to beat him?
Yeah, does Ferrandis or Sexton knock him off?
Man, I lean more towards Chase right now, but after that second moto last weekend with Dylan and how he closed that gap on Jett was huge. So I think that gave Dylan a lot more confidence, and especially this week in Southwick, I think it's going to be huge. We'll see if anybody can get a start on Jett, and I'm not pulling for anybody. You know, like I'm not like, oh, I hope Jett gets beat. I don't hope nobody takes it that way. I just want to see some good racing.
Speaking of, ironically, you just had Danger Boy on your podcast, and then you go out and Hunter misses the second moto. Still has a small points gap. I think he's like 11 or 12 points up, but we were talking about this before the show. Is it 9 points is all?
Yeah.
So we were talking about this before the show. I was like, dude, the one rider that you don't want to poke is probably Hayden Deegan. Like, you give that kid any sort of hope. He is so fired up. And after what he did to Hunter in Lakewood, I'm just like, now this kid knows he has a legitimate shot to win this title with Hunter obviously being banged up. Hayden Deegan is going to have a fire under him coming up to these next rounds. So that's going to be exciting to see.
His confidence is through the moon right now, and it has been since Supercross. You know, when he got his fourth at the opener, I think you saw his mentality shift and was like, okay, I am that top 5 guy. I am the podium guy. And especially this weekend, you're going to see a whole new different rider. After RedBud, you're going to see someone that, even though he's already been riding like it, you're going to see someone elevate again. Yeah. And it's funny though, just watching it all unfold. I was in his motorhome before Moto 1, just talking to him, just messing around, and he's getting antsy and he's getting built up, just the pre-race jitters, and I'm like, hey, like, you're good, and he's like, I just want to win so bad. Like, that's just what he said. He said it twice. He's like, I just want to win. I want to win so bad. And I'm just like, holy crap, this kid is fired up, you know, like, and he went and did it. I know he didn't go 1-1, but he put himself in a good position, made it happen, and let the rest play out. But it's cool to watch, especially because I'm pretty close with him. He watched me win my championship last year, got to come to summer races and stay with me. And now I'm on the other side watching him and trying to help him. So I think I'm clear with helping these guys and then them passing me, because I think by the time he gets to the 450 class, I'll probably be gone. So I think I'm clear with helping them. And then, by the time he gets to the 450 class, we'll be good. Right on.
Yeah, I feel like he's just one of those riders where, like, he carries confidence more than other guys do. And if you're Hunter right now, he's got to be a little stressed out. Be like, oh, dude, like, I just gave a lot of momentum and a lot of confidence to this kid. And it was also good to see, I think Hayden, he still has some maturing to do. I don't think anybody's going to disagree with that. But it was nice to see him in that second moto not to ride over his head to try and get just the moto win. He's like, no, I have the overall. That's good enough. And he stayed there because Levi was riding great. But it was cool to see. I think Hayden finally, had some people talk to him, and he just realized, okay, this is how I'm going to win this title. Is I have to be smart about it.
Yeah, and he won that moto at Hangtown, so he knows what a moto win feels like. And he knew that if he beat Hunter, and he probably got told on the pit board that Hunter was out, and he played it smart. That's like not what a rookie would usually do. And I think you're seeing it all kind of unfold right now with him. So he made it interesting. And we'll see if, especially my teammate, I mean, RJ's 30-something down, but this back half of the outdoors, I think RJ is going to really step it up and close those points gap up. So we'll see. I think Hunter's still very confident, even with this moto that got taken from him from the crash. I think he's very confident and will bounce back fine if he is not hurt. So we'll see.
Speaking of RJ, last question with him. What do you think it is that makes his consistency on start so unpredictable?
Yeah, I mean, I wish we had the magic answer for him. We do starts here every day, and we all line up together. It's not like we're just doing them separately.
Mhm.
There's 5 or 6 of us lined up the entire time, and we do starts every day we ride. So, man, I think once you have that down, it's all about mentality from there and confidence. I think if you tell yourself you want it bad enough, you'll get it. So I think you're seeing that with Hayden too.
Yeah. Was it your wife that said you'll get a start when you decide you want one?
Yeah.
I remember that quote. I've said it a few times.
It sounds a lot better when you say, oh, like, I got a bad start, but I came to the pack, and I just ran out of time.
Yeah.
But then it sounds worse when you get the whole shot and you're like, oh, I got the whole shot, but then I faded, or I just got passed by 9 guys. So us riders, we want to hear the good. And sometimes you're just like, yeah, I mean, obviously we want a good start and get out of the roost, but you also have to believe that you're the best guy on the line too,
Yeah. No, I'm sure RJ, and even you, I know, like, you were a better starter than what we saw during the Supercross season. Like, I was still waiting to just be like, hey, Christian's going to rip a whole shot, and then it's just going to be top 5 starts thereafter. And so I can't imagine, like, you and even RJ, who's probably going through this, where you come around the first turn mid-pack, you're probably just screaming in your helmet, just out of like, dude, not again. Like, what am I doing right here?
Yeah, and for me, it was the hydraulic clutch was a big change for me. On Yamaha and Honda, I was on cable. So it's not that I don't like it. It's just the way it reacts on the gate. It was hard to control for me. So that was something I was getting used to still. I don't blame it all on me wanting it. Like, I wanted to start. I think I needed to get comfortable with that hydraulic release. So we'll try to fix that.
That's crazy how that can be the difference maker,
Yeah.
or like one of the big factors, right? I mean, look at Tomac. He was never known as a good starter and then went to a cable clutch. And then miraculously is just like, oh, Tomac's just expected to be top 5 off the start now.
Yeah, kind of
wild.
crazy.
All right, well, look, Christian, hey, we want to say thank you so much for taking the time to call in today. You're a busy guy. We appreciate it. And bummed to not see you out riding right now, but glad you're on the mend. And hopefully we might, keep that hope. We can see you at maybe one of the last few outdoor rounds. But if not, it's going to be buckle down. And I've full confidence, 2024, the Craig that we're going to see at A1 is going to be ready to start taking podiums and get some race wins.
I got to make it happen. I mean, luckily I have this 2-year deal with the team, and that'll be my second year. So I got to make it happen, or I'm going to be out. So I know I got to show up. I got to put in the work, and I know it's going to take. So I appreciate you guys for having me on. And yeah, thanks.
Oh, last thing. Tell these people about your podcast, your YouTube channel, so they can watch it.
Yeah, I mean, if you just search my name on YouTube, I also film the podcast. So that one's called Candid with Christian Craig, and we have the Craig family on YouTube. And man, I'm sure we have similar audiences, just a bunch of moto fans. So appreciate the people that do watch, and hopefully we can grow it. And same with you guys. I know you guys have been doing this for a while, so
yep,
yeah, all fun.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, thanks,
See ya.
guys.
Talk to you soon. What a good guy.
Such a good guy.
Such a good guy. I apologize. I was trying to pop up the live chat during the conversation. I kept clicking the wrong thing. But anyway, if you guys had questions, who would take the W in MX? What are we doing here? Oh, who would? Oh, Lawrence or Tomac? Ooh.
Yeah, we had some questions in the chat. My chat's not loading right now, so I don't even know what we're at. But
Well, what the heck?
they're wondering, dude. Like, if Tomac was here, I feel like he'd be smoking Jett.
Yeah. I think
You
so
know,
too.
I have a hard time just completely agreeing with that, only for the fact that it's that new bike. Tomac was in the thick of it with the title hunt and probably didn't have a lot of outdoor testing under his belt. I don't doubt that Tomac would be challenging. It would be having moto wins, but I think it would have been like a slow start and trying to build. And if with how Jett's been riding, like you'd be, look at Ferrandis.
Yeah.
Ferrandis is like, Jett could not race this weekend and still have a points lead. He's over 50. He's like, what, 56 or something like that, points up?
Yep, he could lose. He could skip
Good
a whole
grief.
round.
Okay.
I don't know. I kind of think that Tomac would do good. Just
Like,
going from Fox Raceway, like Tomac, you know, him and Chase were dicing it up last year.
I would give the edge to Tomac only because I feel like Tomac has an aggression that Jett doesn't have. And Jett rides the 450 like he needs to because of his body type or whatever. But Tomac has, if he needs to, I think he can just take it to a different level of just bulldozing your way through the track. Okay, let's get back into our top contenders here.
Okay.
Oh, we're going to have to cruise on through these things. All right, what are you going to do with Plessinger? Chuck, where are you putting him in your picks this week? So he said he was really banged up last week, so hopefully he's on the mend.
Yeah, so I actually have him in 4th place.
Okay.
Yeah, where do you have him?
Right now, let me double check here. I have him in 3rd, actually. He's been good at Southwick in the past. That's why I have him there. What do you guys have? I don't know. Where does everybody have Plessinger right now? But let's see here. So as far as Plessinger goes, his average lap time, and this explains a lot when he said he was hurt, his average lap time was 3 seconds off Jett. So if he was banged up and just struggling,
that's pretty dang good.
I'll give it that. Like, okay, 3 seconds off the pace if you were banged up, hurting, sounds good. The only problem with AP right now, if you look at it, is his starts. His start per moto, it's 6.4. So of these 4 or 5 factory dudes, he's always starting 4th or 5th.
Yep.
And you can't do that right now.
No.
Like, you've got to, if you want to beat Ferrandis or if you want to beat Jett or any of these guys, like, you're probably going to need to start ahead of them. AC has been riding a lot better, too. His average finish by moto in the last 3 rounds, Moto 1's 5.3, and then he picks it up and he finishes at 3.7 for Moto 2. So, and I put in there, too, just to, like, he's not the best qualifier. He's not qualifying, in that 7th to 10th range. Is that affecting his gate pick? Would that make a difference? I don't know.
I think so.
I'm just thinking about it.
I mean, it's affecting his starts, so.
Yeah. Hey,
maybe,
Sid, Nick, someone brought up the weather. Can one of you guys look up hey, Jamie, can you pull that up? Can you look up the weather for us? What about Ferrandis, Charles? What are you going to do with him?
Well, Jamie, pull up that video.
Oh, I'm torn. So I actually have him in 3rd place right now.
Okay.
I'm thinking.
Who do you have in 2nd? Sexton?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I'm thinking it's either going to be one of those two. And I'm so torn. I know Ferrandis rides really good. Obviously, in 21, he won at Southwick. So, man, I think he's going to ride really good. He rode great last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Like we said, he was getting close to Jett.
But Jett just kind of picked up the pace again.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part, and he's done that.
Yeah, so for that reason, I still have Jett in 1st place.
Sure.
But, yeah,
Do you think?
I'll just check out qualifying, and
Do you think Sexton is the 2nd best guy right now?
I'm kind of torn.
Because Ferrandis he looked good in that 2nd moto.
That's
he
what
looked
I'm
like
saying.
Chase, honestly, I was a little underwhelmed with Chase, and I think Sexton would agree with that. I think Chase fully expected to come out and be able to beat Jett.
Yep.
And it wasn't a horrible ride, but definitely just didn't look like he was okay. What do you guys think? I don't know. But Chase Sexton, he went down to Moto 1. He was close to Jett's lap times in Moto 2. But look, he started 4th, and that's the problem. So it takes you a few laps to get around the guys that are in front of you, and by that time, Jett's already got that 3-4 second lead. That's the damage that Jett's doing right now. It's like Roxon in 2016. Immediately pulls a gap in the first few laps, and then by that time, if you're 5th or 6th, you don't have time. And he's riding he's not making mistakes. He did go 2-2 at Southwick last year. Tomac was the guy that beat him. But and then in 2021, he went 7-8. So I don't know. But his overall average lap time was 0.4 seconds faster than Ferrandis last round.
Mm-hmm.
So lap time battles, Sexton did win between him and Ferrandis.
But he had there's a couple mistakes. He tipped over in that one corner. I think it was when he was trying to pass Ferrandis.
Okay.
And, that's what cost him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep in
All right.
mind,
What's up?
87 degrees, partly to mostly cloudy, scattered showers, and winds of 5 to 10 miles an hour.
Oh,
So
sounds like
seeing
great
37%
conditions.
chance of rain.
Yeah, sounds like it's going to be perfect. It ain't going to be hot, so conditioning is
No.
going to be out the window. I mean, although it is Southwick, so conditioning is going to have to be on point because that's a track that I could probably do 2 laps on and then I'd pass out and die. Let's talk about AC, though, because Webb's not racing. obviously.
Yep.
Let's talk about IC. You know, he was sneaky good at RedBud. He rode good. Not, I mean, here's a little bobble in the first moto. He was passing Masterpool.
Yeah.
This completely derailed his weekend. So his overall score doesn't reflect. He got 6th overall, or sorry, 10th. But that doesn't reflect how well he was riding.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which was a bummer.
He was riding good. I had him in my top 5 for last week.
Yeah.
But I don't know. He let me down. So
Charles,
I don't know.
he's
in
letting
your
me down no
professional-
more.
Charles, in your professional opinion, though, that bike flipping over right there.
The bike
I
flipping
don't
over.
know, bike flipping over, and then is that kind of what started bike issues for the day? What do you think?
I don't think that started the bike issues. He was smoking later in that Moto 1, right?
Yeah.
I ended up watching the footage when it was smoking, and it wasn't out the exhaust.
It looks like it's
It was
smoking right
coming
there.
from the bottom. Was it?
Yeah. I think, well, his bike blew up like early in
Yeah.
the second moto. So I really do think that he just had some seals going out and was like, hey, we got to race it. Sketchy.
Run what you brung.
Hey,
I
when you're a
guess.
privateer, that's what you got to deal with. Kind of wild, though.
Yeah.
But I know that looking at AC in Moto 2, his lap times were really, really off. Like he was 3 to 4 seconds off in Moto 2 compared to Moto 1.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
So I don't know.
And that's why
Maybe he's still in the hand thing still,
Yeah.
which he is. I don't know. But yeah, his average lap time in Moto 1 was just over seconds slower than Jett, and it was 7 seconds slower in Moto 2. That's that's a lot. So I don't know. But I still have AC in my top 5 just by default. Like there's not many guys that are going to beat him out for that 4th or 5th place spot. Anderson, he impressed me a little bit simply because he didn't fade too bad in Moto 1. But he did go from doing 2:12 lap times to 2:20s in Moto 2.
Yeah.
So you definitely know that he got really tired towards the end of that moto. And Southwick's going to be even more demanding just because you don't have a lot of jumps. There's not a lot of rest time. So I don't know if Ando's going to be in my top 5 simply because of the conditioning factor.
Oops.
I would put Masterpool and some of these other guys that just have the conditioning ahead of Anderson.
So yeah, I overestimated. I think I just got fired up from Roxon a couple weeks ago, and I was like,
Oh, thinking
yeah,
Ando's gonna come in and make a
Anderson's gonna
splash?
come back, yeah. And yeah, I was a little bummed. I actually had him in 3rd for last weekend, and
3rd?
yeah.
I mean,
So-
that's worse than me putting Sexton for 1st, Chuck.
Wait, how many points did you get again?
I don't want to talk about it. But hey,
No, yeah, I overestimated, and so I have him in 5th for this.
okay,
round.
and his starts were 7.7, so not the greatest. Yeah, I don't know. His average lap time in both motos was over 2nd behind 1st through 4th. So he was off the pace, but that's expected coming back from such a long break, and he's not in shape. So cut the man some slack here. Ty Masterpool, Chuck. This man might be my sneaky top 5 pick this weekend.
Yeah, I was tempted. I mean, how does he not have a factory ride now? I mean,
Well, there's no spots open.
well, yeah, but I mean, he's fast.
Well, it's the mystery of Ty Masterpool, and he hasn't. Here's the thing, though. In this sport, in this industry, Supercross is what pays the bills. We all know that.
Yeah.
We relate to moto because that's what we ride, right?
Yep.
Supercross is where what really teams want the most.
Yeah.
And he hasn't proven Supercross yet. He's
True.
hardly raced anything in Supercross. And there's some guys that are just really good in outdoors and don't excel in Supercross. So until he can show signs that he has potential to race and do well in Supercross, I don't think he's going to get a factory deal.
Supercross is crazy.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I truly believe that, and I think that teams are going to say, hey, man, you got to prove yourself. Like, we know you. Like, they all knew he's good outdoors. I mean, he, on Star Racing 250s, he was leading laps. You know what I mean? Like, that. Everyone knew Masterpool had this potential, but it's Supercross where it's just been this big question mark.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know if he ever raced a Supercross race on Star. I can't remember.
Me neither.
So that's why. So
That's
he needs to
why.
come out swinging.
But yeah, I don't know. I just think it's interesting. You know, a couple weeks ago, I thought it was a fluke, but yeah, he obviously can ride. And
Oh no, like
too bad about the
this
bike.
isn't surprising to me, but I mean his
So-
overall finishes this season. Look, he's 13-7-6-6. He's finished 7th or better in 6 of the 8 motos on a 450. So, in this weekend where conditioning is going to be a factor, obviously he's shown he's in shape. I don't know. And his starts have been good. Be under the 40th because his bike blew up. And
Yeah.
I think the AMA timing was screwed up because they don't have any laps recorded for him, but I'm pretty sure he did a few laps in Moto 2.
Yep.
But his starts are there. So anyway, I think Masterpool is a good sneaky pick for 5th place this week. Robert says AC is going to jack up my picks. Might be right.
Could do. Yeah, I want to say Masterpool, didn't he get a 2nd place start in Moto 2 as well? Either way.
He's right there. Dude, 60% to 40 say Jett Lawrence would win a motocross race with Tomac. I am taking no sides, but that's actually surprising to me.
Yeah.
Half our voters almost. Interesting. Okay. Let's get into Wildcard Watch here. Oh, Marchbanks. He's another sneaky pick, but, dude, his starts suck. Well, they got to figure this thing out. He's got the cable clutch.
Yeah, what's going on there?
I don't know, but look, he's gone 6, 6, 7 overall this year. But his starts, I want to read off his starts. Are you ready? 3, 12, 16, 5.
What is that?
He's only got 2 starts better than 12th out of the 8 gate drops, or
Yep.
6.
Yep.
So his starts are garbage, and then he just has to try and charge to the pack. So Masterpool is a way better safe pick for, like, if you're going to do, like, a sneaky top 5.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's my prediction. All right,
Works his
Wildcard
way up.
Watch. Dude, it's tough this week. It's 11th.
Yeah.
And here's the deal. Last week, 11th place was Bryce Shelley. It was his first race of the year. He went 15-12 he went 15-12 for 11th overall last week, and then 20th and 24th the week before at High Point. He's not up here on this list because this is like our top 5 solid picks that make sense statistically. But I'm just pointing out Bryce Shelley, props to him though. I mean, 11th overall. But the week before that, he was in the 20s, barely scoring points. That's how the season's
wild.
been. I know
Yeah.
that's how it's been for a lot of these riders. But look, Lorenzo Lacrucio, he's a good pick. His average result per round is 11.4. He's finished within 1 spot of 12th 5 times this year, and he only has 1 moto finish worse than 13th, which was Moto 2 of last week. He got 29th. All the stars align to tell you he looks good. But then, what do we have for Jake Kessler? He got 12th overall this last weekend.
Yep. 12th and 15th. Best overall was 18th before Hangtown with a 16th best moto finish.
Yeah, and his overall was 18th. His best overall was 18th before that at Hangtown, and his 16th best moto finish. So disregard those two. If you're looking at the overall results, I wouldn't worry about that because statistically, they
Yeah,
don't
you
make a
gotta-
whole lot of sense.
Got to remember the overall.
Poppy's pretty good, though. He's finished within 2 spots of 12th and 6 of the 10 motos. His overall scores, look at that. He's gotten 13th, 13th, and 11th overall this year. Drake's another good one. He's finished 12th 3 times this year. His average start is 13.4 in Moto 1 and 10.4 in Moto 2.
Yep.
Boutron. Let's see. Boutron here. Out of the 5 rounds, he's finished 10th or better 3 times, and he's finished 11th or better in half the motos. My eye just keeps going back to Lacrucio. He just seems so solid. And then Norn, who just got 7th overall, I feel like he's picking up momentum. I feel like he's going to be better.
I think he's going to be better than that.
I mean, his average qualifying Moto 1 and Moto 2 finishing are all between 10 and 11. Yeah. Oh, I messed that stat up. His Moto 1 and Moto 2 finishing averages are between 10 and 11. So last week was his best result, but he got 7th. But before that, he had a 12th, a 9th, 11th, 10th. But I just feel like Freddie's better than 11th right now. Who are you going to pick?
I'm torn. Well, Lacrucio, I feel like might be a safer bet, but I put Boutron. I looked in my crystal ball,
Okay.
and I'm feeling Boutron.
You're feeling Boutron?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I'm going to go Lacrucio just for the fact that 12th 5 times this year and like 9, 9, 10, 13. He's right in that window.
Yeah, average result per round, 11.4. I mean.
And now Anderson's back in, so that pushes him a spot out. Okay. I think it's good. I don't know. All right, Charles, you know the deal, dude. Let's lock him in real quick.
Okay.
Do we have any new memes? I was checking out memes. Sid, do we have them up here? Let's look at the newest memes we got.
That was a good one. We can relate.
I didn't even get 100. I got 60. Like, this is
Oh,
so
man.
embarrassing. I'm not over it yet.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
what
shout
else
out
we
every
got?
single Sunday. Nice work there.
Yeah, that was a good one. Thank
Jeez, every single. Okay, I like that. What else we got?
Yeah.
That is Christian feels validated right now after Deegan wins the overall.
Yep.
Feels very validated.
Yep.
Money doesn't buy the talent. He's going to win the championship. You think he does it? I'd still put my
think
money on Hunter.
Yeah.
I'd still put my money on Hunter.
I want Deegan to win, but
Yeah.
Hunter, yeah.
We were just talking about Hunter, like, if you won more Moto 1s, we'd talk about you more. Yeah.
That's true.
Ah, man. That's pretty.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that conversation they had?
No, I haven't.
What a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Jeez. Terrible idea. It's pretty true.
Yeah.
Wild card. It's so, like, but I don't know.
I feel like it's
I can't
opposite
pick
for
anything
me.
right, so I don't even care.
I start out,
suck right
mine's
now.
going good, and then it tapers down. Uh-oh.
It's pretty rough. It's pretty rough. All right, we got any more? Sexton. Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't see the press day interviews, but I still don't get the whole mono thing. It was really weird.
Yeah. Makes you tired, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe that's why he got third overall. All right, fair enough. Chich after locking his picks. To be fair, do I say that a lot? Do I say
Actually,
to be
you
fair
do.
a lot?
I just realized that.
I saw
That's like
that.
your phrase.
Well,
We
I
need a
saw
T-shirt that says "To be fair."
SoCal just roasted me here, but I was like, I read that and I was like, do I say to be fair a lot?
Dude, this was actually a GIF. It was so much funnier in GIF form because it's just back and forth. To be fair. To be fair. To be fair.
That's
To
awesome.
be fair, he's a good guy, such a good dude. We all have our terms. See you on
See
the
you
trails.
What
Never
the
been
hell
on a
is
trail.
going on?
Yeah, I don't ride trails, but I'll see you on them. Okay, fair enough. What could
Do
have
it for
been?
Dale.
AP,
Yeah.
man, bummed.
Yeah.
Pretty bummed. We're going to have to make sure we get the inside next time if he's banged up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that being said, Charles, let's lock him in real quick.
Okay.
Give me your picks. Here's your cards. Oh, I left Boutron over on the Lucrucio and Boutron over there. Oh no, here's Boutron. That's who you have right now.
For my wild card, yes.
Okay.
I've
Who do you
got
have?
obviously Lawrence in first.
Okay.
I can't argue with that. Then in second place, I actually have Chase Sexton. I think he's going to be a little less sleepy. Get over that mono. And Brandis in third place.
Okay.
Fourth place, I've got Aaron Plessinger. Jason Anderson in fifth.
Okay.
Anderson right there.
So you're telling me right now, you really think that Anderson's going to be AC and Master Pool from just
I know it's crazy, but
conditioning standpoint?
I'm just thinking from a consistency. Going for the overall, I think that's what's going to happen. I know he slowed down in second moto, but I think just having more time on the bike and training,
Well, look,
I think he's going to be a little more consistent because they let me down last week.
you're kicking
And
my
I can't-
butt. So I guess I will not argue with you on your picks. You are kicking my trash. Okay. Look, I have to make up points somehow. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go Sexton, Jett, Ferrandis,
It's a bold move.
AP,
hell
and then I'm
is
going to go
going on?
Lucrucio, not Boutron for my wild card. What do you guys think? I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I had him locked in for this segment, and Sid probably hates me right now. But thinking about this, I'm just not doing it. I'm switching them up. I'm switching them up. Sorry, Sid. Sorry, Sid's over there shaking her head at me. But I'm like, you know what? I gotta mix it up. I can't go safe. I gotta mix it up. And that's what the show's all about, Chuck. Controversy.
I know. I'm trying to see what the guys are saying.
Who? Master Pool
Mackenzie's
top
10
5?
points behind it. Master Pool top 5.
Oh,
yeah.
let me get
Made
Master
a
Pool.
two-stroke.
Did I put Anderson in there? No, I don't. What was I thinking? There, sorry about that. Ando's not in my top 5. I'm gonna go Master Pool.
Cool.
I feel like this track, Southwick, super rough, bumpy. AC's arm problem is probably going to be a bigger factor
Yeah.
at this race, so I don't feel confident putting him in my top 5.
He's going to have a brand new motor. Going to be running.
Yeah, he's going to have a new motor by now.
I'm just listening to this over here. I'm chilling.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. That's what I got.
Okay.
Remember, We got bad A prizes up for grabs. One more time, Sid, show them the weekly prizes that we got. All right, there they are. Look, Fox Moto gear set, spending spree. Second place, FXR. Third, ASV. Then we got 7, Rhino Power, Cherubies, Matrix Concepts, LS2, MSR, Works Connection. But, of course, the important part. Oh, yeah, while we're looking at the grand prizes, shout out to our fantasy winners because we got first and second place flying in next week to give them their bikes.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. If you're not, follow us on Instagram and all that because we're going to be doing probably a live show or we're doing some posts, and you're going to see the fantasy bike winners rolling in to pick up their brand new 450 and 250 SX.
Yep.
Pretty good.
Could be you for this. Make sure you don't use rollovers. Get your picks in for the weekend.
This is how bad it is. Wes, our supervisor, I'm going to throw him under the bus here, has done rollover picks since like rounds 1 or 2. He is kicking my butt.
That's rough.
People that aren't trying are kicking my butt.
Maybe you're trying too hard.
I'm getting a little flustered.
You're a super knowledgeable dude.
And
So
I'm flustered. I
don't know.
I have the Supercross hangover because I beat everybody and I won that pool, Supercross, and now I'm just not performing in outdoors.
Taking it race by race.
Well, I don't know. I just feel outdoors is a little harder to predict because it's not just
because you got 2
event.
motos.
It's 2 motos.
I know.
Are they going to be consistent? Are they not? So yeah.
It's just crushing me. Robert says I'm digging. Yeah, I'm digging for points. Hopefully I strike gold somewhere. I'm probably just going to get a bunch of freaking copper. All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in live. Again, big shout out to Christian Craig, who called in today. Had a blast talking to him. Remember, get your picks in. We're headed to Southwick this weekend. Go to the Discord, the link down below in the description. Put your picks in there. We have a link for your picks. You can submit your memes. We chat on there all day long, so it's an absolute blast. So anyway, yeah, thank you so much for tuning in live. Charles, anything else left to say?
I think that's it. Have fun watching the races, and we'll catch you guys next week.
Okay, we'll see you then.